What's up, everybody? How you doing? Today we're in Sumbre with my girlfriend. I've been here for the last couple days, as it was her birthday, as you can see, with all of her presents that we overloaded her with, which is cool. Finally been able to actually come here, which has been nice. Obviously, officially, we've not been allowed to see each other for however many months and months and months it's been. But now we have the support bubble. I am her support bubble, so I'm allowed to be here, which is cool. I'm actually leaving today, but I just thought I'd pick up the camera and just show you that cake, which I've half eaten because it was really, really nice. But I actually had an off-plan day, and just some real helpful advice when you have days when you don't necessarily count all of your food. It's just like fast for a little bit in the morning. Like we didn't eat until 1, and then we just kind of ate exactly how we wanted to. Once you plan things out a little bit, like we literally ate 3/4 of a cake. And it's one of those big old boys, so it's going to be a lot of calories. Plus Thai, plus prawn crackers, all this kind of stuff that we all homemade. So it was really, really good, and it was a nice time. Thank you for asking. Let's get into the video. We've got legs today, and a blood test, and driving home. Okay, bye. Just in case any of you thought I didn't have to bump my car anymore. I do. But we literally just got the car delivery date, Friday. Today's Tuesday. Can he wait? And we're finally home. Lovely jubbly. I'm going to go through this Medichecks test, right? I'm not going to give you the results. I don't get the results today, but I'm going to put this video out before I get the results. I'll go through the results in detail as a full YouTube video. But this is super, super easy. They send you the full pack, so you can literally see them. So they'll quite literally give you every single thing that you need, including everything that you need to withdraw blood. You just collect it, pack it, and then return it. It's super, super easy. I generally go for the venous ones where you have to actually take blood out of the vein rather than the finger prick, just because the blood volume that I need for the tests that I get, I tend to need a bit more blood volume because they're using it for more different tests. But generally speaking, for just the hormone panel, you can get away with just a finger prick test. If you're ever interested, Medichecks, Josh Bridgman for discount in the bio. So I thought I'd talk about my post-workout meal. Now, I tend to have a whey. This Perform Whey salted caramel is definitely my favorite at the moment. Now, the reason I have whey is because it's pretty insulin-genic, and it's just a fast way of getting a lot of protein in. I have 70 grams, so it's quite a bit of whey there, but it works well for me. 2 bagels. I usually just have this all the time, literally just 2 bagels, and I'll add jam to that. Most of the time, if I'm in a honey mood, I'll get some honey. But this is my favorite jam, the Bon Maman raspberry conserve. And this is literally how I put it out. This is going to be horrendous for some people, right? So you see how it's on one side. So I will then spread it around just half of it, so that whole left-hand side will be spread. I will then just fold it over like a sandwich and then just bite it. So literally a whole bagel is 3 bites. People are going to hate that. They're going to hate thinking that in their head as well. I do like to try and get a pretty good serving of fruit. So here is an unfocused me weighing grapes. I had about 200 grams of grapes there. So a well-balanced post-workout meal. Enjoy the rest of the video. So a little bit of a life update really, just to kind of let you know what's going on. So I'm in the process of moving to London. My girlfriend's got an offer on her flat. They're just trying to sort the mortgages out, and then we'll get a move-in day in hopefully the next week or so. So in the next 4 to 6 weeks, maybe I could be moving to London. The car, which is right behind the camera, which is why I'm pointing there, is going to be sold tomorrow, and I'm getting my new car on Friday, which is amazing. I'll do a reveal video for you. I'm reverse dieting as well. And we're going to be pushing into a blast very, very soon. I sent off my blood work yesterday, so I'm going to get all of my lipids, my hearts, I'm going to get all my lipids, I'm going to get all my kidney, liver, and every value across my organs and my health and well-being done. We're going to assess the damage, see where we're at, and then make a decision from there as to how hard we push. I know that I'm risking health, so I'm deciding which and where amount and which on what amount of health. So we'll decide, and I'll let you know as we keep forward. And I'll obviously tell you when I go into a super physiological range of testosterone, because I've been running about 150 milligrams of testosterone, which is just above TRT. So I'll probably be very, very high on the natural scale, or just over. And we'll find out in a couple of days. This is just because I wanted to maintain my muscle mass pretty decently. I appreciate that I'm not going to be recovering as much as I could do if I was fully down. It's part of the parcel of this game. I'm trying to get more muscle, so we got to do what we got to do, unfortunately. That's the game. That's what we're doing. So this is one of my normal type meals. I have pretty much every night I have potatoes. Potatoes we know are pretty high, especially white potatoes, are pretty high up on the satiation index. You can just Google what foods satiate you the most and it will literally give you like a list of them. White potatoes are pretty high up there, so I'm obviously pretty hungry at the moment coming out of a reverse diet, so potatoes really, really help. I then have a protein, so tonight I got a steak. I try and rotate red meat in a couple times a week just because I do think there's a lot of things in red meat that you don't get from white meat. Obviously it comes with higher fat, but that's fine. I'm going to take the animal fat. It's got a chimichurri sauce on it, so there's a bit of olive oil, oregano, there is some fresh parsley on there, and a little bit of garlic and a little bit of chili. Then I've got carrots, parsnips, broccoli, and sprouts, and then I've got some beetroot, tomatoes, and some mixed spinach. So it's a pretty wide spectrum meal. There's a lot of different vegetables on there, and it's going to taste good. Make your food look good, make your food taste good. You're gonna enjoy it much more. This is a good example of a meal I pretty much have every night. I just rotate the chicken in, rotate the meat in, different flavors every night. Count everything, weigh it all out. Perfect. So something that me and the boys have been doing is these maximal internal focus sets, and they're essentially, while every set should be a maximum internal focus, which is just focusing on that muscle, we've done this on both eccentric and concentric. Concentric, contracting the muscle; eccentric, elongating the muscle. So we know we cause a lot of damage in both phases, but there's a lot of energy used in the concentric. So we don't stand there as much. We don't spend as much time in that concentric as we do. But we do on this last set. It's going to absolutely destroy your hamstrings, as you can see my boy Will right now. He's getting into it. See, it's nice and slow and controlled on the way up. Nice and controlled on the way down. You know, there's no superpower. We're not trying to push as hard as we can. We're keeping it nice and controlled. Taking it through the full range of motion. You can see how stretched he's getting in his hamstring right here. Fully extended. Dropping right in, getting it short. Keeping his hips fixed. Great success. So we're into my, I mean, this is an issue with legs. Obviously we've got the hamstring curl machine, so we're sound, but these leg extensions, you can see how awkward this is. They're on 2 plates, the razor's high enough, on a cuff, on a cable. But luckily we've got the gym pin extender because we have the full stack on there, which is pretty easy for all of us now. So now we've got 30 kilos on top of the stack. No doubt the stack is going to snap at some point, so I might as well film every set when I'm on it. Unilateral extensions. We're not really getting much load in that fully lengthened position, which is essentially when my heel is closer and we're in a more extended position. This is more mid to short range, so we're going to focus on that full extension at the top. Oh shit.
Go on. Yeah. Go on, there's 2 more there. Come on, come on. Drive. Go on, get him up, get him up. Yes, there we go then. Go on, go on, go on. Come on. Yes, yes.
Seen my evening meals. They don't really change. Have a shake before bed, and then we have breakfast, which is today. I don't have breakfast. I train fasted. I think some extra things to note about fasting is that actually it can be quite good for you in the fact that we eat, you know, especially as bodybuilders, we eat frequently every 3 to 4 hours. Like spending a bit of time, say 12 to 16 hours without some food, it's not going to be the end of the world. We know there's a lot of benefits in terms of like cell autophagy and the fact that in fasting you kind of start to eat, kind of pour health cells and kill off those cells and actually start the regeneration of healthy cells. We know that's a benefit. Granted, you may not be as anabolic for a little bit, but in terms of building muscle, it's going to be negligible. I think if you fast for a little bit and train fasted, it's not going to be a huge deal. There's a little bit of research into saying that if you do use blood glucose that's going around the bloodstream first and then don't consume EAs or highly brown sugar, you may have the potential to burn a little bit more body fat because you're using up those stores quicker, because obviously you use them while you sleep, so those stores aren't full to the brim. And I can understand that case, but when you're eating a surplus, when you're eating probably over 300-400 grams of carbs, you're probably set, you know, you're probably set for every workout, for everything like that. So I wouldn't worry too much of eating around there. I would probably look to put some carbs before if you were looking to prioritize your performance in a dieting season. And actually, when I do go into a competition prep, when I do go into a phase where I'm going to lose body fat and focus on retaining muscle or building muscle, but mainly retaining muscle, I would then start having a meal before I work out so that I'm slightly more fueled, as I know that I'll be running on empty more often. And it's just about being tactical with that with training. But at this moment in time, fasting, it's not going to kill your gains whatsoever. I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you are not competing, if you are competing, just think, how are you going to perform the best? For me, I feel great waking up in the morning. I'm rested. I'm full in the morning. I feel good. I've got enough food for me. Might be a little bit different if I was leaner and I was going down to a competition prep. So it's not a big deal not training fasted. You got to consider the thing with fasted training is that while technically you are fasted, you've not eaten, the glycogen stores are still there. You've still got food from the day before. So I had 450 grams of carbs yesterday. We have the ability to store that. So training fasted for me is no big deal, especially considering that I'll use an EAA and a highly branched cyclodextrin, which is a carb powder, which is super absorbable, and a protein powder, basically, which is super absorbable, so you don't get digestive stress. So I'm fueling myself during my workout, but I'm also fueled from the night before, and it's not too big of a deal if you're training fasted out there. So those of you guys who like to train out before you go to work, you're not doing yourself any favors. It's not really a big deal. Would you potentially get more out of it if you eat before? Maybe. That's something that you need to go ahead and try. But for me and my routine, it works really, really well just to kind of roll out of bed, wake up very, very slowly, and then, you know, do a little bit of work in the morning, get me ready, because I'm not super hungry in the morning, but that will come. And that will have to be implemented as I get further into my off season. But I'm not super hungry in the morning, so I don't go ahead and eat. I just wait, I train, I eat after. No big deal. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be back soon. New car tomorrow. Okay, bye. Love you.